Hello everyone and welcome to the free-to-play Rares Only Plus series. On this account I've been progressing through the game using champions who are rare, uncommon, or common, plus any champion who is free and permanently available to all players. So with all that out of the way, let's dive in. Right now I'm working on a secret room, Doom Tower normal, Spirit champions only, and victory is ours. We are one step closer to Akoth the Seared, who will be an integral part of my Doom Tower Hard wave clear team. Speaking of Doom Tower Hard, unfortunately, I got stuck a little early this time around. Earlier than last rotation, but of course, it's Bommel 50. I tried doing the Longsword Torux solo strategy, but my gear just wasn't quite good enough. Last week's update, I stated that it didn't feel like resistance was a deciding factor in my success, but when reviewing the footage later, it looked like it was indeed. I was resisting a good amount of the bombs and the burns. I was just like right on the cusp of resisting some, but not resisting all of them. So only having 300 resistance on the Longsword Torux, it wasn't quite enough for Bommel. But there's always normal, right? I'll have my chance to try to prove to myself and to all of you that last rotation, when last time the Bommel rotation came around, I beat it and it wasn't just luck. It did look like kind of a fluke, I'll be honest. It may have been, so we'll just have to wait and see. Hopefully we can get it with no trouble at all this time around. If you're wondering why there was no live stream this Saturday, it's because I was working overtime. However, I did happen to take Thursday off for back to school night for my daughter. As such, I happened to be off work on the night Undead Hordes was open, and we made some good progress there. I think we're on stage 19, so we still have to beat 20, and then we still have to beat 21. And then we have to 3-star it. So we're making unexpected progress. Oh, I shouldn't say unexpected. I expected to make progress. I don't know if I'll be able to beat the boss. Undead Horde is regarded as one of the hardest factions to beat. Not only is the boss notoriously difficult, but the waves leading up to the boss are hard as well. You have 3 Valkyrie and a Warcaster who places block damage upon them. That is a puzzle on its own, and not to mention the boss who ignores 100% of your defense and his damage scales off your max HP. It's a tall order indeed. I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here. This isn't normally what I do in this series, but it is something that's been bothering me a lot, and I want to take this opportunity to talk about it. What the hell is this? Like, the whole reason this dungeon exists is so people can get this cool new exciting set, Pinpoint. But they've watered down the item pool by adding these sets that... Who the hell wants to farm Days set? Literally nobody. And guess what? Plarium knew that, which is why they put this in there. Who wants to farm Crit Rate set? Literally no one, and guess what? That's why Plarium put the set in there. Who wants to farm Curing set? Literally no one, which is why they put that set in there. They did it just to slap you in the face, and honestly, I feel like I've been slapped in the face. This is very insulting. If they wanted to reduce the drop rate for Pinpoint and water down the pool with other sets, there are other ways they could have done this that wasn't a punch in the gut. They could have offered us Forge Pass sets, Defiant, Bolster, Slayer set, the one that has Defense Ignore and Speed. There might even be a 5th one that I'm unaware of, but this would have been a perfect opportunity for them to make these very scarce and limited time dungeon gear sets, like the Forge Pass sets, a little bit more accessible. And it would have been really cool and exciting. It wouldn't have sucked. It wouldn't have felt horrible when you don't get the Pinpoint. It would have been like, well, that's not what I was going for, but that's still a really cool set that I don't have a lot of. Thank you, Plarium, for doing something cool. But instead, they decided to slap us in the face. So I'm unhappy with this, and I just wanted to use my little tiny platform I have to... I wanted to vent, get that off my chest. I think this was done horribly. Is it cool that they did something? Sure. I think they could have done it better. They just chose not to. So, anyway, all that aside, I have been farming Dragon with my Drexthar, doing some solo work to get some points in here. Not that I really care about this stuff, the main reason I'm doing Dragon is because it's the dungeon that I can solo with Drexthar and farm food champions at the same time. If you're new to the series, I have decided to take a hard pivot and start focusing faction wars. And the biggest barrier to entry of faction wars is having enough food to 6-star and 5-star all the champions. So by farming Dragon with Drexthar, I could farm 4 food champions at once. That, in tandem with the value I gain passively from the sparring pit, I'm able to get basically a free 6-star every week. I currently am sitting on enough 5-star chickens to 6-star 2 champions, and I just haven't taken the plunge because I'm not quite sure who I want to do. And in about a week from now, I'll have enough food to 6-star another one. So I'm just pumping out 6 stars basically for free. The value is immense, and on top of that, I'm getting gear to equip those 6 stars with by farming Dragon. And down goes the dynamite. Sorry, down goes the Dragon, and boom goes the dynamite. I had one chance to get that right, and I screwed it up. It's alright. Nobody's gonna watch this anyway. Oh, the Forge Pass is back, and we got the Slayer set also, which I'm quite excited for. I'm really hoping, because right now, Dark Elhain is like my #1 AoE damage dealer. She's just been miles above everybody else, and she's not only that, but she is miles above everybody else while in crit rate gloves. This is, if I can get some more Slayer set pieces to sort of fill in the gaps so that I can get her into crit damage gloves, that would be amazing. So I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, and hell, even a couple more accessories here for her. Just, you know. Because right now we only have the 7-piece bonus. If I can get her in a full 9, having a 30% chance to repeat the damage from her A2, just like double tap somebody, that would be really cool. I wouldn't quite literally, I guess it wouldn't literally double my damage. It would double my damage 30% of the time, I guess. But yeah, that would be great. Okay, well, I don't really have anything else to talk about. It's been kind of a slow week for progression, and that's how it goes. The deeper into the end game, or late game, I should say. I'm not end game yet. Deeper into the late game you get, the slower you progress, and that's just the way it goes. I guess I could try to push dungeon progression. I kind of just stopped at stage 20 everywhere, just because I want to farm the food. And until I start beating faction wars, faction crypts, there's really nothing more to report to you guys, and that's just going to take time, unfortunately. So, but in the meantime, let's have some fun and pull some shards. I haven't pulled shards for a weekly update video in months. It's been a very long time since I've done this with you guys. Tree feller? That feller looks like a lady. Sorry. Oh, another thing. You might notice the quality of my webcam looks much nicer. That's because I got a new one. We also got a Wyvern Bane. Yeah, so thank you, huge shout out to Dex. Not only is he a legendary tier channel member, he also donated $150 on one of my live streams about a month ago, and the YouTube paycheck finally came in, and I cashed it in for a new webcam. So thank you again, Dex. It really does mean the world to me that you believe in me so much. Like, you have improved the quality of my videos. So thank you. I'm sure everybody else watching is thanking you too. Bam. Nothing. Shards are brutal. I'm also at the point where I kind of have all the rares that... Okay, this one is new, actually. Ashwalker. Void Affinity AoE Nuker. Not only that... Oh, this is actually massive. Okay, hold on. Attacks all enemies. When fully booked, has a 100% chance of placing 15% weaken for 2 turns. The reason this is significant is because the hardest hitting defense-based damage dealer, Marquez, she attacks all enemies and then deals extra damage to enemies with weaken debuff. If it does the extra damage, it's a 7 times defense damage multiplier. That is substantial. That is a huge, hard-hitting, defense-based nuker. And now that I could set her up with Ashwalker, before the only way I had to set her up was with Candlehead, Candle Guard, and she was only a 75% chance to place weaken. So now I've got the best in slot AoE rare weaken set up for Marquez, and that will continue to be my best in slot until I get Rianne the Conjurer from Doom Tower normal secret rooms. So then the fact that Ashwalker is also void means I don't have to worry about weak hits. That is quite good. He's fast, but he's got really bad defensive stats, so it will be hard to utilize him well in a Ghost Second Arena team, which is the style of team I want to build Marquez into. So, yeah, it's something. It's not nothing. It's definitely not nothing. What exactly that is, I still am not sure, but it's not nothing. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and a special thank you to my legendary tier channel member Dex for your continued support. Hopefully, I will see you all in another video soon, but until next time, everyone, happy raiding.